My name is Arin Lindauer, and you're listening to A Life Without Struggle. I'm a wife, a mother of 2 wonderful children, a 2-time best-selling author, and a highly driven and successful entrepreneur. In my 17-plus year career as a mindset and health expert, I know what holds women back from a life you only dream about. Whether you're a CEO, a businesswoman, or executive, I started this podcast because I have been where you are, and I know you want and deserve more out of your life. I believe women are limitless. We just get lost along the way. The process to get you there is the topic and purpose of this podcast. When you understand what you want, you can truly step into a life without struggle. Welcome, and I'm so thankful you're here. Welcome back to another episode of Life Without Struggle. My name is Arin Lindauer, and today we're going to discuss a topic on, do you believe you can achieve your health and weight loss goals? So you may be asking me like, okay, do I believe? And for some of you, you're going to be like, hell yes, I absolutely believe in my goals. This is what I want. I'm going to get after it. And those are the women that absolutely see results. Now, if you're in this other camp of women that says, man, I don't know, Arin. I mean, I know I want to lose weight, but I've failed so many times. And I'm here to tell you that here is the thing. If you failed so many times, you have to start getting really, truly real with yourself and asking yourself, have you actually gone all in on what it takes to actually see your results? And that does come back to this belief in yourself. And so with this podcast here today, I want to speak into why we may not fully believe in ourselves, why this is such a problem, and why this leaves you feeling so frustrated, so just unaligned, and like just honestly hating all things about yourself and who you see in the mirror. And I want to help you understand that this is not a place to be. This is a very frustrating space. This is a space where you do not live to your full potential. And it's such a waste on such a beautiful woman and a beautiful time and space and opportunity that you have in your life. So here's the deal. We all set goals. We set an intention. Maybe you set what you call a New Year's resolution, and maybe you hit those goals, maybe you don't. And I'm venturing for a lot of women, they don't hit these goals. Unfortunately, I'm just going to call it like I see it. We don't hit our goals. And here's the deal. I can only speak on this stuff because I have personally been in that camp too, but I know the difference when I hit goals and when I don't hit goals. When I don't hit goals, I wasn't 100% congruent with the goal. I wasn't absolutely aligned with all the actions. Maybe I was unwilling to do the actions. And this is where, if we were being completely honest with ourselves, we can kind of step back and say, oh, damn, okay, I didn't do all the things to see weight loss. Yeah, I cheated too many times. I had a cookie here and there, drank too much alcohol. I didn't fully embrace what I was doing. And here's where I want to go with this is we have to believe in what we want. We have to understand that there is rhyme and reason. We know when we lose weight, we are going to love who we see in the mirror. All of our clothes are going to fit. We're going to, be intimate with our husband and maybe keep the lights on. We're going to feel totally different when we see this outcome. Now, here's the trouble. For so many women, they don't believe they can have that desired result. They don't believe because they've failed time and time again. And so today I want to inspire you that if you've been sitting in this camp of not seeing the results that you want, what's the problem? So, okay, this becomes a perpetual cycle for so many women. because they are unwilling to do the actions. Well, okay, that seems pretty simple, right? If it's really that simple, why wouldn't we just do the things? Well, Arin, good thing you asked. It's complicated, right? It's complicated because we get wrapped up into our emotions. Food has become a tool, no different than drugs or alcohol. We just tend to not like shame that as much because it's not drugs or alcohol, but think of it this way, you're abusing food no different. And so we have to really understand, why am I doing that? Well, you get a hit, you get a feel good, you get a sensation that doesn't last very long, and thus why it tends to be more of a quantity thing. And so we have to be able to objectively look at ourselves and say, okay, am I doing all the things? If I'm not, cool, what am I not doing? Or where are the opportunities? And when we can really just break this down, this is where this can be very, 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 very simple, but it's not. And why is it not simple? Because we have emotions, we have stories, we have belief systems around why we do or don't do certain things. And this is what absolutely impacts. This is the stuff that you have to dig deeply into. And I'm sorry to tell you, but Weight Watchers is not going to address this. Noom is not going to address this, and all the other crazy workout fad type things that you could do are not going to address what's actually going on upstairs in that beautiful noggin of yours. So if you're willing, here's where you need to go. We need to start understanding why we do the actions that we do. If we're constantly over-consuming, do we even know what the proper serving size is? I will tell you that most of us have no clue what a proper serving is until you actually measure out a fourth of a cup of whatever nut you are consuming. It is really, really sad. Or peanut butter is another really fun one. Like, have you actually measured out 2 tablespoons of peanut butter? When you do, it is a very sad amount of peanut butter. But this is where I want to give you a very visual aspect to how we overconsume. When you sit down at any restaurant is going to have minimum 600 calories in their serving. Most of their servings are 800 to beyond 1,000. And that's just the entree, let alone if you had a salad to start, maybe they put bread on the table, maybe you had a couple beverages, and before you know it, you've had over a day's worth of calories just in one sitting. And here's the problem. When you do this day in and day out, this is how we continue to gain weight, because we are over consuming and we don't even realize it. And now here's an even bigger kicker is your stomach is a muscle. Your muscle or your stomach will stretch. And when it stretches, now we need more food to quote unquote fill it up or have that feeling of full. What's also really interesting about our body is we can put food down and our brain hasn't even caught up with, hey, I'm actually full, I need to stop, when we should have stopped like 10, 20 minutes ago. So we have to understand these nuts and bolts of what it actually takes to actually lose the weight. And then if we've got all the tools in front of us and we're not seeing the result, then it has to go back to the stories, the belief systems, the limiting beliefs that are sitting inside of our heads that are not allowing us to break free into this entirely different person. Because what we have to understand is, who is this new version of ourselves? What does she look like? How does she feel? How does she talk? What clothes does she wear? When she looks in the mirror, what does she see? This is an important exercise in visually anchoring what it is that you want. Now, what's interesting is we can't necessarily see it with our body, and we can't just like take our head off and put our head on another body, so we can't just get that whole experience. But what I highly encourage is looking for an image of another woman that you see that you're like, man, I really like how she looks. This would be something that I would love for me. And then put that image in a frequent spot that you see over and over and over again. And this is that anchoring where we can see what we want on a daily basis, because the weight loss journey takes time. It takes more time than most of us really want it to. But it's a process, and it's a physiological process of we have to burn this excess energy that is being stored inside of us. So back to the belief. When you believe in something so deeply, it anchors and roots all of our actions. It tells us how we're going to show up. Just like if you believed that going to church on Sunday was exactly what you needed to do, you get up like clockwork, you go to church, you sit in the pew, you take in the message, you read your Bible, that becomes what the standard of what you believe in. That is the way we need to feel about our health and our weight loss goals. That this is something that, come hell or high water, I will do no matter how I feel, no matter what the circumstances. Because here's the deal. If we're always giving in to stress, frustration, sadness with our emotions and eating or doing the things that do or do not serve us, this is where, again, we don't see the results. What was interesting for me is watching women struggle to get their workout in. This has to become just who you are. This is something that no matter what the day is, you get up, you do the workout, or reasonably speaking, okay, I couldn't get it in on Wednesday, so guess what? Thursday is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to get up and I'm going to get that workout in. But you're constantly working through the how can I do this versus what I can't do because my schedule won't allow, this happened, that happened. Whatever is important to you, you will make time and priority of it in your life. And for so many of us, we've just got things so out of alignment. So this isn't just a complete kick in the pants, but I want this to serve as this line in the sand that you were like, you know what, Arin, I do believe that I can achieve these goals. But here's the thing, maybe I don't know exactly what to do and I need help. That's where I highly recommend reaching out to a professional such as myself, because I'm going to be able to walk side by side with you and do this step by step. This is also a position where you may not believe you can achieve these results, and that's okay too. This is where, again, having a coach who believes in you and you can borrow their belief, that is the permission you need to do the actions, because you may not fully believe in it because you've failed and you failed over and over. And so I can appreciate that it's not anchored in you that you see this kind of success, but you can borrow a belief system from someone who has done it time and time again with countless women to see these types of results. So my question to you is, will you set these goals and achieve them this year? Will this be the year that you finally got everything in alignment? Will this be the year that you go for more, that you dream bigger dreams? Or are you going to sit on the sidelines? Are you going to still look in the mirror and hate who you see? Are you still going to criticize your body? Are you still going to, not be intimate with your husband because, you don't like how you feel or look, or keep the lights off, right? Like, these are the things that we need to talk about, ladies. It's okay to feel really, really awesome inside of your skin. It's okay to feel good and confident and put anything on in your closet and it all looks amazing. Believe in yourself. Then get the proper support and help so that you can move into 2025 powerfully. Let's go.